Oh, right, there we are. I just thought I'd give a little bit of an update. That was a bit exaggerated, wasn't it? A little bit of an update on John Doyle poems. Now we've reached 50 subscribers. It's actually 51. A bit late on that. Turn that off. I don't want to make too much noise. Just thought I'd give you a state of play as it is at the moment. To Come Still is there's two poems I wrote recently. I've forgotten the name. After listening to, well, I watched a film called Pandemonium, which is a fantasy historical film, whatever you want to call it, about Samuel Taylor Coleridge and William Wordsworth, and had a bit of Lord Byron in it as well. And I really like that film, and I like the Coleridge poems, and one of them that they dubbed over the film was Frost at Midnight. Read beautifully, I must say. And then I had a look on the internet for that, and then I was reading that out, and I'm going to do a video of that as well. Read out Mr. Coleridge's Frost at Midnight. And when I read that, it gave me an idea of how to write a poem differently. Usually I write first person singular, and I thought, I noticed his were written in past tense, even though he's writing it. They call it conversation poems, I think, on Wikipedia or wherever I looked. So I thought I'd do a sort of past tense type thing in that sort of naturistic style, and I did two of them, I believe. And then I did one poem which follows a bit of that theme, which, if you could say, was the third one, which I wrote while watching a video on YouTube by Cookstairs. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with pronunciation. I know the words, I don't know anyway. So I hope I got that right. Who's become one of my best fans, because she seems to be checking out every single video and commenting upon it. So that's been very nice. And of course, who was my first one? Butterfly Gemini, something like that. Probably got that wrong. It's all on the page, www. Well, you know where it is because it's on there, isn't it? Anyway, so those two poems are to come, and I think those two are my best two. Especially, I think the second one. I think that one is my favourite to date. Although I have used that nature theme before in like River's Edge, and a few times. But it really worked well having read that Coleridge poem. So obviously thanks goes to him as well. So I hope you like that. I should probably be putting that after, and this will probably go after the things I'm just about to say, the end of Love Recording and Genuine YouTuber Wilfred Pickett's number 4. And then there will be this, and then those two poems, hopefully. That's all I have at the moment. I do have on the camera, to be edited still, Jacob Jakes, the rest of it. And the reason why it has been a bit, because obviously I put that on before all these one-off plays, and the reason why these one-off plays happened was because the hard drive, which is here somewhere, here, decided to fail, and it's come back and it's still no good. So there you go. So that means I have lost some of the things. I think, but most of the stuff I lost was the edited stuff of Jacob Jakes and a few of the new shorter poems. The older stuff, which is the bulk of it, is on another hard drive, which I hope doesn't fail. I should copy these things, but my DVD writer's not very good and they're not very reliable. So anyway, and this camera is a hard drive one. But luckily, the Jacob Jakes I kept on here, so I still have those, so I don't have to reread them out. And there was also some poems, about 20 I think I read out, and luckily I kept on the camera as well, so I can download those again onto the PC and re-edit them. The Jacob Jakes I did start editing, so I'm going to have to do them again, I think. Yes, because I think I did about 2-3 extra, so I'm going to have to redo them again. So they will be coming eventually, and those poems. Also, hopefully some more one-off plays. I haven't done any. You've got the last one, that love recording is the last one to date. There are lots of different ideas I have, which I really should write down, but I tend to remember them, and if I don't, then maybe they're not worth doing. One of them was going to be for Halloween, which was when basically the idea is that I'm going to sit in the shed at night and do this one-off play, which are all done live, although that one might take two blocks. It might do that, and then I might do a bit where he comes outside, but I don't know yet. But that's basically going to be about this house. That's why he's in the shed, although I don't know if he's actually going to be in the shed or that's going to be the house or wherever it is. Anyway, that's just for atmosphere. I thought that would be a good way of writing something. Putting myself out in that atmosphere might get me to write something interesting. So that's going to be something to do with the house, and a bit like the first one I did, which was called, what was it called? Do you know? It's called, I don't know, but it was the one on that homegrown podcast, which is another thing. I wish I could remember these things. The horror that I did, I could look at the page, couldn't I? I suppose that would be the easiest way. I've got it open here. I am going to waffle now until I actually remember what I was meant to say. No, I was going to say that that was actually featured on a podcast, homegrownpodcast.com. It's on my John Doyle Poems website, plus it's on the video itself. Dwell Within the Dark, that was it. www.homegrownpodcast.co.uk. It was featured on there, number 101. It was a Halloween special. And that was very nice, and I don't know, some of the other stuff might be featuring on in later shows, so do check that out. It's a very good show anyway. Even without my stuff, it's probably better actually. I don't like listening to it actually. I did listen to 101 and 102. I haven't even checked 103 yet, whether anything of mine's on there or not, but I didn't actually really listen to the Dwell Within the Dark. I listened to all the rest of the show, but I found that a bit difficult. I don't like really listening to my stuff. The other things I was going to do, there would be another of those love recordings, because there was a bit I missed out, which I had this idea. Usually I have one idea, and that is when I go and do these things. But obviously it took a bit of time before I actually had this idea, and I think this is going to be a two-part update, because I'm going at 7 minutes already, nearly 8. So anyway, this love recording, originally there was one theme that I was going to have, this idea that you could meet someone a distant away, which is a theme I've been using a lot of these things, because it's easy to write that sort of longing love and mention about love things, because if they're together then there's no real aspect for me to talk about, so that's why I use that, the distance, so that one person can talk about the other one and their love and etc. And so the one thing I was meant to mention in that, the theme, the only theme I really had for that, was that he sees someone who looks similar to the person that he likes distant away, and that person doesn't even take notice of him. And that whole idea that you could be in love with someone who's far away, and yet someone who appears externally the same is right next to you, and yet it's not there. And that was the theme that I was actually meant to put in that love recording number 153, but it completely went out of my brain. And I was thinking of doing an extra bit for that and editing it in, but I decided not to, and I thought I'd leave it. Now I was thinking on the bus that, okay, I'll do a sequel to that love recording, and I don't know, the problem is, I noticed that I called it love recording number 153, which is just off the top of my head. But the problem is with that, is that